let's discuss the album Zero and Below by Crowbar.
Here's someone I was pleased to find out is also a born-again believer in Jesus Christ. And then after I found that out and I went back and read his lyrics, I was like, okay, it makes sense. He's a Christian. Kirk Winstein from Crowbar. If you're not familiar with Crowbar, their music is very slow, sludgy. In fact, they are the innovators of what would become the sludge metal genre. A more hardcore version of doom metal. So they do have faster, more upbeat parts. There's a song on here called Chemical Gods. And it's a song about drug abuse and yeah, just that kind of thing. You know, he does sing a lot about personal struggles. Drug and alcohol abuse seems to be a lot of what he sings about as well. So that vinyl, that's just a beautiful record as well. This is a great album. One of my top 5 albums, one of my top 3 albums from this year. So Crowbar from their Zero and Below album from this year.
Hi, welcome to Garage Geek, and you just heard my guest host, Captain Ron with Aquatic Records, and he introduced the album on his channel, Zero and Below by Crowbar. And when he said it was one of his top albums of the year, I wanted to hear it. So I've been listening to it.
Everything that you thought was good,
So one of the interesting things that I do is I record what the host says, and then I don't refer back to it. And usually I forget a lot of the details about why I picked the album. And one of the things that Captain Ron stated was that Kirk Weinstein, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, Weinstein, but I'm going to just say Weinstein. Kirk Weinstein is a Christian, and this is reflected in his lyrics. Now, one of the things that I came away from this album was, positive things, was how good these lyrics are compared to other dark bands that I've heard in terms of subject matter.
I'm bowing down.
So some of the songs have songs about like existential angst, or kind of a fantasy thing, like with, a woman spreading her wings and taking flight, and, these kind of things. But there are also songs in here that have positive messages. Like Crush Negativity and Confess to Nothing.
Your soul.
Now, I know that one sounds a little bad, but when you look at it, it is offering advice. So this album was put out in 2022, as Captain Ron stated. It's one of the albums of the year, and I guess this band is known for starting the slow and sludgy movement in metal. And I'm going to have to say that I really, really like this style. As I listened to this album in the background, I really, really started to like this album a lot.
Never underestimate.
Now, when I started to go and make snippets for the songs, I found that I generally liked the tracks and the sound of the tracks overall, but there were some really key standout moments on the album. For example, in the song Denial of the Truth, the first half of the song, I'm assuming the lead singer sings in a natural voice, and it's kind of dialed back, and there's some reverb, and it creates this mood with this drum beat. It really sounded like something from the first Sabbath album. From what I could find, there were 2 official videos to this album, and one of them is from the song Bleeding from Every Hole, and it's about this weird ass home invasion where I guess these people invade the home and they terrorize the family by like bludgeoning themselves to death and eating glass and nails and then dying in front of them.
I don't know, it was weird.
In my twisted
Kirk Weinstein was on the set of this video and he did an interview and he was talking about the album, and I found that interview really interesting. Let's go ahead and listen to a snippet of it.
In all honesty, out of the 10 original tracks on the record, it's really the only fast song that we have.
Another video that was made for this album was based on Chemical Gods, and I really like the way this video was shot with scenes of the band in X-ray. Now, for some reason, I got really fascinated with this band, and I just started watching a whole bunch of their videos related to this album. Kirk Weinstein did an interesting video where he talked about his guitar riff influences, the ones that he learned to play as he was starting to learn the guitar.
You know, Iron Man and things like that, things like,
So if you like this album, I highly recommend that you search out some of these videos. Another video that he made was he did an interview of albums that he recommended, non-metal albums for metal listeners. And I was very interested in what he had to say. So let's go ahead and listen to some of the bands that he recommended.
I'm a huge Elton John fan. Really a big disco fan, believe it or not. And you know what? The Carpenters' greatest hits.
I was very amused at him recommending the Carpenters. That just tickled me pink. Now, in the end, I have to say that I'm really impressed with this album. I liked it a lot. It's great background music, actually. And then once you start getting to, because so many parts of this album, even though they're heavy, they're slow, but they get under your skin. I agree with Captain Ron that this is probably one of the best metal albums of the year, even though I haven't heard hardly any. So again, I want to thank Captain Ron at Aquatic Records for being my guest host and introducing me to this phenomenal album and group. I actually can't wait to listen to some of their older albums. I also had a lot of fun going through some of the videos, and I'm going to definitely enjoy watching some of the videos that are related to some of their earlier albums. I hope you've enjoyed this. And again, I want to thank you for the support.